Hey guys, this is my update video. You guys got to see my video from last week where I was having issues with the appointment that I had yesterday. Yesterday was the VA shrink appointment, and I had stated in my previous video that I did not like the fact that I was going to have to be diagnosed with something in order to move forward with my transition. First, let me say thank you for everyone that watched those videos. The comments were wonderful. The support was amazing. I really, really appreciated it. A lot of you messaged me yesterday asking me before and after my appointment how things had went and just telling me to be strong. And it was really nice to talk to some of you guys yesterday, so thank you again. Getting down to the actual appointment, I was really nervous. I didn't want to go. I had really mixed feelings about it. I knew that this was a required step in my transition, but it's been a step that I've been avoiding for a long time. When I went in and talked with the shrink, I had my partner come in with me as well. Sometimes 2 sets of ears are better than none, and she tends to calm my nervous side, so it was nice to have her in there as a support. He started off basically informing me that he really had no experience with a transgender patient whatsoever, that he didn't know much about it and didn't really know where to start, which definitely amplified my nervousness. He seemed very set on the fact that he wasn't just going to sign a piece of paper and shove me out the door, which at first was good and bad. I was worried that it was going to turn into a meeting of him convincing me why I was mistaken and why I didn't feel the way that I actually do feel. Not to mention, this was my very first shrink appointment, so I really had no idea what to expect. His questions were really vague in the beginning, and the more I spoke, the more direct he became. He seemed very offhandish at first. He didn't know whether to take me seriously or not, and I was definitely trying to be the most serious version of myself that I could muster. Some of you closer friends that are watching this, you know that I tend to joke around or make light of serious situations. And yesterday just wasn't one of those times that I deemed appropriate for that kind of a response. So he just got down to it, you know. He asked me about my childhood. He asked me if I had always felt like a man, if I knew what I was doing. He kept looking at my face. You know, this was an appointment to go in to try and get approved to start my hormone replacement therapy. And I think at first he might have had the impression that I was already taking hormones because of all of this. So I had to tell him that no, you know, this has been coming in, you know, since I was basically hit puberty. It's just gotten much more prominent over the years and the older I get, which was nice. He seemed a little relieved that I wasn't like under the table doping myself up with hormones, which for anyone that is watching this video is a very, very bad idea, especially if you don't know the side effects, especially if you don't know which kind of hormones to take, because there are a numerous amount of options for you out there. As much as I did not want to go into this, and as much as I did not want the professional side to have to be touched out of fear of being told that I was wrong, or that there was going to be a pause in my transition, or that it was going to take unnecessarily longer, do not self-medicate. Don't do it. The risks are not worth it. You could really hurt yourself. If you're in any sort of a relationship or living with your parents still, you can really not only hurt yourself, but damage the relationships that are surrounding you, because when you self-medicate and you don't know what you're doing, the outcomes of hormone replacement therapy can already be severe and astoundingly quick. You do not want to do it on your own. Okay, that was enough of me preaching about self-medication. back to the appointment. It took about 2.5, 3 hours, which, give or take, surprised the hell out of me. In all honesty, I wasn't expecting to sit in there that long. The more I spoke, though, the more interested he became. He had said that he had no idea anything about transgender folks or anything like that. So when I used certain words like stealth, and for those people that don't know that are watching this, stealth is when a transgendered person, it does not matter, male to female, female to male, living stealth is preventing yourself as the original gender that you feel you are. So if I was stealth, I would never tell anybody that I was transgendered. They would think that I was a biological male. I had used that term, and instantly you could see that he didn't know what I was talking about. I also talked about the fact that I've been doing drag for over 10 years on the weekends when my life would allow, as far as work and school and things like that. And I would talk about being in face and out of face. Again, for folks that aren't very familiar with the scene, drag and being in face is, I would have had my facial hair on before because I was shaving. This has only been allowed to grow freely for the last 2 years since I've been out about being transgendered. So saying in face, it talks about me having to apply fake hair. Some guys use mascara to just darken in the baby hairs that, you know, most of us already all have on our face and whatnot. And I told him that I've been doing that for about 10 years. I touched on the fact that I was rough and tough growing up. You know, I wasn't your typical girly girl. It was kind of like trying to arm wrestle a snake to try and get me into dresses and things like that. By the way, I love you, Mom. Sorry it was so rough. All in all, make a long story short, I got approved. He diagnosed me with gender dysphoria. He literally had to open up his big book of diagnosis and read to me verbatim what that meant. And after listening to myself talk for those 3 hours, or 2.5 hours, I pretty much fit the bill spot on. The feelings that I have about the diagnosis, I was very adamant in my last video that there was nothing wrong with me, there was nothing wrong with you, that we're all just perfectly perfect in our most imperfect ways. I still definitely stand by that. I understand that a diagnosis is what I needed to move forward, to safely move forward within my transition for the hormones. I still don't like it. I still stand by the fact that I don't agree with the fact that any of us have to be diagnosed. It still gives me a feeling like something is wrong, you know. I know that being transgendered comes with a lot of complicated feelings. You already feel wrong in your own body. You already don't feel comfortable in your own skin. And then to have someone tell you that that is right or wrong and you're going to proceed with or without hormones, it's a wide mixture of feelings. I don't know really how to describe it yet. I don't know if I personally have had time to really delve into my emotions on that. I am overcome with joy that I get to move on with my hormone therapy. That's totally approved. He sent the diagnosis yesterday to the endo people, and they'll be giving me a call, I don't know, sometime soon, I hope, and if not, I will definitely be calling them. And the road to figuring out what my T levels are and what I'm going to need for hormones pretty much begins. I've done a little more research into the hormones, and I still don't feel very comfortable giving people any solid advice. I will definitely be continuing to make these videos, especially after I start. If you are watching this one, and because I don't have a lot of them up, you go up to your little search bar and you type in F to M or M to F transition videos, you will be inundated with a bunch of people in the same boat, basically, going on and telling you this is week 1, my first shot, this is week 2, week 3, 6 months on T. My videos will be something like that. A lot of them, though, you know, it's going to be, well, look, I have facial hair and my voice is dropped. I'm hoping that my videos will be a little bit more educational, a little bit more on the emotional side, because you don't hear about that a lot. I'm really interested in not only my transition, but trying to be an advocate for people that are going through transition and their partners. It's one thing I've noticed lacking in a lot of videos. You don't hear from the partners too much. And it's really important, because me talking to my mom on the phone earlier, I kind of forewarned saying, hey, you know, I got approved, and the last 2 years we've been dealing with the mental aspects of this transition, and this is kind of everyone's warning. And I don't really like using the word warning, but for lack of a better one, this is to inform everybody that the next step is going to be dealing with the physical transition. The T shots will eventually deepen my voice. They will do muscle reconstruction, the way my body builds muscle, redistributes the fat within my face and my stomach, you know, all the way down to your ass and your thighs and things like that, just everything. And it's not just the physical, there's a lot of emotional. Okay, you're taking a 32-year-old person and throwing them into roughly a 15-year-old's puberty all over again. So the emotions are going to be intense, and that's what some of these videos are going to be talking about as well. What's changing on the emotional level. I've also talked with my partner, and as you're watching these videos, if any of you have any questions, anything, whether it's you going through transition, whether you're a partner watching this video and your significant other is going through transition, if you have any questions, just go ahead, and this will be on Facebook and YouTube, so you can message me on Facebook, or you can write me a message on YouTube asking those questions, and my partner said that she will sit down and go over them, and we will get you guys some answers the best we can from our perspective. There's not too much more to give you guys any info about. My next video will probably delve into how I came out to my friends and my family and things like that. And then hopefully after that, I will have some sort of an update from the endo folks talking about the actual taking of the hormones. So let me just do another shout out of thank you again for watching these videos and standing by me and trying to understand where I'm coming from. It means a lot to me. It definitely means a lot to me, and I appreciate everything everyone's trying to do. So I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.